Hi Aquarius, this is your self-love reading. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and this will not resonate for every single Aquarius out there. All right, let's get started. So as you can tell, I already went and pulled a card for you guys. And the first card that popped up was spaciousness. What do I need? What do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, place, or thing drained my vital essence. Show me that will fill me with enthusiasm and joy. So already, it kind of already feels like a very heavy energy, and it feels more or less like for some of my Aquariuses, you might have actually dealt with people, places, or things, circumstances that has led you to having lower self-esteem, not seeing your own value in life, feeling drained emotionally, physically. For some of you guys, you might even be experiencing fatigue. And for a lot of you guys, I'm just sensing that you're tired, you're ready, you're done. With whatever this was, I feel like this was enough for you guys. Let's pull some tarot. So we have the Emperor, the Princess of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Six of Swords, Fortitude, which is the Strength card, the Queen of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. Sorry, my dog. All right. Hey, stop. All right, already. So Aquarius, it already kind of seems like for some of you guys, it's like you're starting to slowly take back parts of yourself. I feel like for some of my Aquariuses, if you haven't done this already, then you probably will do this, is what it feels like. Is that you are done letting other people have power and control over you. And it almost feels like you've kind of had this dynamic where you are now starting to do what is best for you, and you are now starting to let go of people, circumstances, and places that will no longer serve you. And you're doing it in a way that it is kind of admirable. It's showing you your own strength. You're moving forward. Like, these cards look very promising. They look very positive. But I have a feeling that for a lot of you guys, this was something that was a long time coming. Something that you felt like you really needed to do for yourself. Let's clarify here. Yeah, see the Ten of Swords here with this Emperor. I was sensing that the reason I think a lot of you guys could have walked away from a place, person, or circumstance was due to just having a lot of pain and not understanding perhaps why certain people might be doing what they're doing. It almost seems kind of like that's the main reasoning behind some of it. Here we have the Eight of Swords and the Five of Swords. Because for a lot of my Aquariuses, you guys could just be dealing with, and I don't know, but it feels almost like for some of you, this could have been a cycle that you were seeing in other areas of your life too, not just, if this was like a relationship that you're walking away from, it's almost like for some of you guys, you could be seeing the pattern that you had in previous relationships, previous partners, but it almost feels like you're now starting to see what, like, the real true colors of other people, really why other people might, like, I'm trying to figure out words to how to describe it. I think for some of you guys, told this individual or whatever the circumstances were, you walked away from it because you knew that you had to do what was best for you. It's almost like you guys finally came to this realization that nobody's going to take care of you and that you have to be the one to take care of yourself. And not only that is that difficult for you to have to see people for who they truly were, but I think that you have had to find that space for yourself, had to take that time out to really, really evaluate everything that has occurred in your life leading up to this point. And for some of you guys, you're now slowly, or you are taking that initiative and becoming more accountable for your own life and for your own circumstances and who you are as a person. It almost seems as though you're starting to really appreciate those that are real around you, and it's almost like you're trying to leave those that are fake that have been around you. I think enough of my Aquariuses that are tuned into this reading has realized that you finally deserve to be happy, that you deserve to be in relationships that don't cause turmoil, that don't cause frustrations in your life. I think you've always played it kind of small, Aquarius, and now you're like, enough is enough. I'm not letting other people, places, circumstances hold me back. And it's almost like you are starting to find your destiny again. You're starting to find who you really are as a person, and you're starting to like move past all of this pain, all of this frustration. You don't want to keep yourself held back, because I think for some of you guys, there could have been a dream or something that you really wanted to do, Aquarius, and maybe you've been put down time and time again saying that you are not able to do it, and now you're finally realizing that you're meant to do this. It's almost like you're trying to find your calling, and you're doing it in a way that's a little bit more empowering. For some of you guys, though, you might be experiencing people around you that have been very harsh, very mean, and might still be saying lies about you, could be spreading rumors, things that aren't true. You could have also had to deal with people that have always put you down, always made you feel insecure, always made you feel like you are not worthy to be loved. And you're now starting to realize, you know what, it doesn't matter what other people think of me. What really matters is what I think of myself. I'm really liking this energy, and I actually feel like a lot of empowerment. Although I still think that for a lot of you guys, you're pushing back that pain to move forward. It's almost like you're not really addressing the root cause of that pain, but you might be aware that it's there. But you might, like I said, whatever this is, I feel like you're picking it up and you're moving fast. You're going somewhere quick, right? And I think you're doing that because you're starting to see probably like the little habits that other people around you have had, but it really feels like you're pushing back quite a bit of that pain, because it almost feels like you think to yourself, you don't want to dwell in the past anymore, but it also seems like there's an urgency with you, Aquarius, like you really don't want to stay around situations, places, or things that could really be affecting you. It almost feels like you're really trying to find who you really are. And it almost seems as well, too, like learning to figure out what makes you happy could be really hard for you, because it almost feels like you've never really had that chance to really know who you were. Perhaps you've been around people where you've always felt like you had to put on a fake mask. And because of that, you're now starting to realize, you know what? I'm actually happier being alone than I am with other people that don't value me. For some of you guys, you might start isolating yourselves more, maybe putting yourself back a little bit, maybe not hanging out with friends as much, because perhaps you're reevaluating even your group of friends, your family, your lovers, people around you, because it almost seems like there's something inside of you, Aquarius, that clicked, something that just sparked your interest, that made you say enough is enough. You're just picking up and you're moving forward. But with this Hermit, that's what's kind of concerning me with the Hermit in the reverse here with the Princess of Pentacles. It's like you're just leaving and you're doing things, you're picking up and you're taking action to cut things out of your life, which I think is wonderful and amazing. But I also think that perhaps because of that pain, I'm afraid that some of you guys really are not acknowledging what that pain could be. And because of that, that might be also holding you back. I think for a lot of people, when you hear of like the law of attraction, or you hear about things all the time that say, don't focus on the past can rob you of your happiness. Although that is extremely true, I also think that sometimes our past, if you don't pay attention to the past and you don't be aware of the behaviors and the patterns that you might have had or other people might have in the past, if you don't work through the pain or the trauma from the past, it will always follow you, because you're not releasing that energy, you're not releasing those emotions, those thoughts, those feelings. And because of that, it can affect you later on in your life and throughout your life without even really realizing it. So my real advice for my Aquarius, which this is my personal opinion, and you do not have to take it as face value, would be to really sit down and really acknowledge your feelings and allow yourself to experience the grief, experience the pains, experience the disappointments that perhaps you've suffered in your past, and realize that although that's the past and you don't have to create that anymore. You don't have to bring that anymore to your future. You still should learn to let it go, still learn to release it. For some of you guys, you might not be aware of how to. And some of the things that I have learned personally that would help with things like this is for me, I would sit down or I'd lay down and I would feel my body. This helps me release a lot of emotional abuse or just a lot of emotional trauma that my body still has, because it imprints on an energetic way, it imprints still in the body as dis-ease. So if you notice you have lower back pain, if you focus on that lower back pain, the pain might hurt and then it might escalate, but then you notice it starts to tingle, or it starts to change, or it might shift from your lower back to your knee or something like that. Just following those sensations in your body and then allowing that sensation to leave the body whenever it needs to or whenever it allows to. I also notice that if I close my eyes, I can see colors in the back of my eyelids, and it's almost like as if it follows the chakras as well, the coloration of the chakras. It's really quite cool and very interesting. And because I would sit there and allow myself to feel the pain in my body, I oftentimes notice that on average, the pain either eases tremendously or it actually completely goes away. And then once that goes away, I'll notice that there's a different part of my body that starts to really hurt, and it's because I released something else, and now something else is coming back up to the surface in order to be healed. So those things are really cool techniques. Meditation really helps with understanding your mind as well, and why you might have these mental entrapments that we keep ourselves in. But for a lot of you guys, I really feel like you need to take time to become more consciously aware of your physical body and be a little bit more observant. Because when I think of this Princess in Pentacles here, it almost feels like she's very much aware of her physical body, what her body feels like, touching her body, knowing what it feels to be like sensual in that way, being more grounded in the physical world. And if you have that Hermit in the reverse, it's like you're not paying attention to your body, you're not paying attention to foods perhaps too. For some of you guys, you might be having fatigue, like I mentioned earlier, or something as like back pains or similar types of pains throughout the body. Paying attention to those will actually help you heal quite a bit too, because I am sensing for some of you guys, you're needing to become completely aware of yourself. For some of my Aquariuses, I was sensing that perhaps some of you guys have gone through actual like abuse. Like, not to get super dark, but, abuse can occur in many different forms. Some is very heavy, while some can be lighter abuse. Trauma is just something that is an experience that we, as a child, normally cannot understand. And because of that, or say something is happening so quickly that our brain cannot process it, it can lead to having issues and difficulties letting things go. And because of that, we're learning now to have to evaluate it and look at it from a better perspective, especially when you're now an adult and no longer a child. You might have a better understanding of a situation than you once did. But what it feels like for some of you guys is some of you might not be aware of where you really want to go or what you really need to do in order to free yourself from a situation. Some of you guys might feel somewhat still kind of stuck, even though you're making the changes physically. It almost feels like for some of you, there's still a bit of you that is still questioning yourself, still questioning where you're trying to go in life. And that could be potentially causing some of you guys to actually keep yourselves very stuck and needing to learn to work through that and give yourself that time. Give yourself that space. We're always more harsh to ourselves than we are to other people, which is why I think having these types of readings is so important, because I think we all need to be a little bit kinder to ourselves. We have, I connect with nature today. Spend time outdoors today, breathe in the fresh air, relax under a tree, take in the whole sky, notice that nature isn't judging you. That's beautiful. For some of you guys, like I said, I kept feeling like you were around people that are judging you consistently, and that might be very hard for my Aquariuses. And actually taking time out in nature, nature really doesn't judge. And I've noticed that every time I go out. I am very fortunate to be around nature all the time. I live around forests, trees, I have fresh air. I feel like I have to be grateful every single day because not everybody gets that opportunity. But if you are able to have that type of opportunity, or you're able to go to a park, do something, ground yourself. You can even put your feet on the physical ground and just feel it. Because for some of you guys, I think you guys might need some grounding, which was why I kept feeling like maybe lower back pain for some of you. And that could be based off of your root chakra. I give what I want to receive. We need to give what we want to receive. When you experience any lack in yourself, ask yourself, why am I not giving? I trust the guidance of the universe. Trust that everything you need to know is being revealed to you in the perfect space, time, and sequence. And for some of you guys, I was sensing some frustration due to not really knowing what you want or where to go in life. And that's just because you need to allow yourself that time and space. When you start to become more still, answers will come towards you, and things and places will start to make more sense for some of my Aquariuses. But I was really feeling that you need to become more connected to your bodies. For some of you guys, you might have disassociated from your actual physical body, which happens quite a bit, especially to those who've been like traumatized. But I just kept feeling like for some of you guys, it might not even be that severe. It could just be that you're having stomach aches and you needing to pay attention to what you're eating. You need to pay attention to what you're feeding your body and what chemicals and things that you are putting into your body, into your skin. Your skin is the largest organ that we have. What kind of shampoos, what kind of makeup, what kind of conditioners, what are you putting on your body? Because that also can affect you as well. And I think for a lot of you guys, you're starting to come back into that individuality. So here we have action. You have the courage to express the unique loving colors of your soul. We have tolerance. You appreciate others' points of view because you sense the love in everyone. Release. You have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving force of the universe. And we have harmony, which is in the reverse. You are balanced. You are able to feel loving, balance, connection with everything. And that's what I was thinking. You're disconnected from nature. You're disconnected from your body even. It just feels like for some of you guys, you need to take better care of yourself. Be cautious on what it is that you're eating. Be cautious on what it is that you're watching, what you're listening to. Be careful of what you're absorbing around your energy and around the people that you see every single day, because that can really affect you as a person. So being a little bit more cautious about that will really help you guys start to see the actual meanings that you have, will show you the actual benefits that you can get from being more contented to yourself. When you pay attention and take care of who you are as an individual, you'll start to really see things for what they truly are. And that will bring you a lot of fulfillment, Aquarius, when you learn to become tolerant, When you stop becoming so tolerant of other people, because I'm sensing for some of you too, yes, you do need to see other people's points of views, but for some of you guys, I feel like you could be around people that can be considered toxic. And although seeing their points of views can help you probably move forward, you don't always have to take other people's points of views as your own. Learn your own individuality and learn to be there for yourself, because I'm feeling for some of my Aquariuses, you've been there for other people, and now it's time that you truly take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be able to find that middle ground where you can compromise with yourself too, so you can see where you're being nice, like where you're being too bad, too harsh to yourself, and where you can be a little bit kinder to yourself, and try and find ways to merge those together. So that's what I have for my Aquariuses. I hope that this resonates for you guys, and I hope that this helps you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.